Welcome to week 3 of the Ascot Quilt Along. This week we're going to be making the granny square block. This block is made with squares and it can be made with squares of any size. But in order to make it a 12.5 inch block, we're going to need to use squares that are 3 3/8 of an inch square. So you will need to cut 12 3 3/8 by 3 3/8 squares in background fabric. You will need to cut 8 in fabric A, 4 in fabric B and 1 in fabric C. I've designed this quilt block notebook which I use when I'm planning out the blocks that I'm going to do videos for, and you may find it useful. You can buy it from Amazon, and if you scan this code using your phone, it'll take you straight to the Amazon page for it. Now, let's get quilting. And we're going to start by laying it out in the block layout. And the squares are laid out on point. And so to make this block, we simply sew together in columns. And you're going to sew this column and then these side columns. And then you're going to join it all together. And then these last two pieces here on the edge, they go on at the end. So I'm going to start by pinning these in pairs. So I'm going to take these over to the sewing machine and sew with a 1/4 inch seam allowance. I'm going to return these back to the block layout. There we go, we're back in the block layout now. Turn that around slightly. And now I'm going to continue to pin these. I'm going to return these to the block layout again. And pin the remaining ones. And then back to the sewing machine. back to block layout again. So I need to sew one last square on here before the pressing. So now the seams need to be set. So I'm going to start with the centre strip. I'm going to set these seams and I'm going to press them all in the same direction. I'm going to press them all away from myself. Just pop that to one side. The next one is this one here. So where's the pair? So these are the next two that go on the side of that. Again, I'm going to press these, set these seams and press them away from me. Again, I'm going to press these seams away from me. Okay, and I'm going to set those to one side. And then the final section. So now we're going to do the block layout again. So this one, if I check it, they're all going away. So this one all needs to go in the opposite direction. I'm just going to turn those both around like that. And then this one needs to go away. So now all the seams are going in opposite directions. And I'm going to pin them together and they should nest. Now I'll sew this with the shorter column facing towards me so I know where to stop sewing. So I'm going to go to the sewing machine and sew those with a 1/4 inch seam allowance. So back at the block layout. I'm not going to press this yet. I'm going to sew the columns on again. Now I'm going to take that back to the sewing machine. So I'm back at the ironing board. I'm going to set those seams and I'm going to press them all in one direction. So I'm going to press them away from myself. Now we've got the last 2 squares to put on. So for this I'm just going to press this in half so I can find the centre point. So right sides together. I'll probably press this one in half as well. Again, to find that centre point. So with right sides together, I'm going to match those pressed points. Pin them in place. So I'm going to take those back to the sewing machine. So we're going to set those seams and press them. So now what we need to do is trim this block down to 12.5 inches. So what you need to do is grab a ruler and you need to line the 1/4 inch line of the ruler up on those points and then cut. So you're cutting a 1/4 inch away from your points. And then you turn the block round and repeat it. So you're lining your 1/4 inch line on the ruler up against the points and you're cutting a 1/4 inch away from your points. So there we go, the granny square block. And if I get my 12.5 inch square ruler, we check that it is actually 12.5 inches. So I'm going to lay that down. You can actually see it's a little bit bigger than 12.5 inches all the way around. That's because we had to start at 3 3/8. But I think when we put the sashing onto that, it'll all sort itself out. So congratulations, you have made the granny square block. As always, I'd love to see photos of your quilt block. So please post them on Instagram using #Ascot Quilt Along. I do hope you're enjoying this quilt along and you're going to join me next week for week 4 when we're going to be making card trick. Thanks for watching and happy quilting!